We know you can have puppies.
Don't just bark at them.
He's so cute. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I'm in the gym locker room right now. This lady was asking me for money outside, and she had a Cash App. I was like, great, because I was like, I have pennies that I can give you, because that's all I had in my car. I'd used the last of my cash on gas money. Okay, I'm about to go exercise, but anyways, she was like, do you have Cash App? And I was like, yeah, I have Cash App. I mean, at first I was like, I have Chime, because I didn't think I had any money on my Cash App. But then I opened up my Cash App. I had $2, which was a surprise. I had $2.72. And she was like looking at my phone with me, like I was next to her. I was like, here, let's log in. Poor girl. She was like, no, honey, you keep your $2. I'm okay. I was like, I'm sorry, I'll send it to you. And she's like, no, I can't get cash off of that. I was like, I'm sorry. Does anyone else feel like driving up to an obvious merging point where there's no clear indication of which party is supposed to merge is like playing a game of chicken with the other person coming up to the merging point? Like, who's gonna slow down and get behind the other? Because that's what it feels like to me, is you're basically playing chicken because neither of you want to be behind the other person. I really don't have enough content for you guys. But I just posted this on my Instagram. Hopefully I'm not talking too loud because I'm kind of nervous. But I'm at the gym right now. And I'm socially awkward. And I hate myself. I had like a really pleasant and awesome interaction with this other person, and they were super nice and amazing, and I just got increasingly more anxious, and I wanted to cry, and I kind of still want to cry, and I don't know why, because it was a totally normal, super pleasant, amazing interaction, and I just could not stop being anxious. I genuinely don't know what's wrong with me. And like, I was coming up to this person and asking them questions. It wasn't like it was like an unwanted interaction. Like, I wanted this interaction to take place. I had questions. But, you know, my brain decided to just, maybe that's what it was. I felt like I was bothering the person. And then they were being like super nice to me, and like, I can't handle that because then I feel extra bad because they're so nice. I'll try to leave my Instagram in the bio or description or whatever, so you guys go follow that. Side note, I don't know how many subscribers we had last video, but we have 27, so that's exciting. Maybe I will become less of an anxious individual the more subscribers I get, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh god, I feel retarded. I'm being extra quiet right now because I don't know if anybody can hear me. I'm in the lounging area of the Planet Fitness. This gym is like insanely nice, by the way. Like, their showers are super nice. Their equipment is super nice. Like, I don't even know why you guys are spending $40 a month on these fancy gyms because this is the fanciest gym I have ever been in my life, and it's only $10 a month. But yeah, I'm like way too anxious of a person. I don't like it. I still kind of want to cry, but I feel a little bit better after talking to you guys, so thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Someone tell me why we have to get our car registered every single year. Can someone just explain that to me? Because I'm sure there's a reason. I'm sure. I just don't know the reason. And you know what? I think the real reason is that the government can't handle their finances because of various different reasons, some of which are them trying to appease to Americans. And so they just try to milk you for all of the money that they can possibly get out of you. So yeah, I'm gonna just freaking find out how to pay this car off and then never own a car again. I'll bike and walk everywhere. I'll become an NPC. I'd get freaking skinny though if I just jogged everywhere like in video games. Bought a freaking horse. You don't have to register a horse every year. It's like a pet. You can just register it once and then it's your horse forever until you give it away or die. Or it dies. I don't have money to get my car. It's okay though, because we have a whole last month to register our car. So we're Gucci. Because I got 2 paychecks left before the next month starts. And then my car's expired. Because I don't understand. I don't. Why? I swear I'm not actually that upset, but my eyes are super watery. I don't understand that either. I don't understand most things in life. If someone could just leave a comment just explaining life, that'd be great. You know, how do I become financially stable? What are the smart choices when buying art? Honestly, here's some life advice. Don't buy anything on payments unless you're renting an apartment or you're just renting something in general, because at that point you have no choice but to make payments. Don't buy anything on payments. You will have so much more leftover money. For example, if you Honda Civics are where it's at. Not even a Civic, honestly, like just Hondas. Honda cars are so reliable. My 99 Honda Civic apparently survived with 0 oil in it for who knows how long, because the oil light came on and then I had to wait like 2 weeks to get my oil change when I had that car. And then the guy that did my oil change, because we're lazy and don't do our own oil changes. Honestly, it costs the same. Like, they say it's cheaper to change your own oil, but it's really, it costs the same from my experience. It's the same price. So, and you're taking your own time and effort and energy. So just go to a shop, find a cheap shop. It's not that bad. But like the guy that was changing my oil, he said that he opened it and literally nothing fell out. There was no oil in my car at all whatsoever. At least that's what he told me. He said there was a residue, like he wiped out residue. But as far as oil is concerned, just nothing fell out of the oil chamber at all. And I'm like, okay. Don't know how long that's been, because there's no way that there was oil in my car 2 weeks prior and then no oil, because if the light had just come on only 2 weeks ago, oil would still fall out. It'd be dirty as fudge, but it would still fall out. So a Honda Civic ran on 0 oil, which I guess isn't that shocking because the oil really just lubricates the pistons. So I guess all that really entails is that Honda Civics are really good at running. Like, their pistons are good at moving with no oil. Or maybe I really severely fucked up my car and that would have been a problem for another time before I replaced it. But, yeah, and it didn't, you know, the cabin air filter needed to be replaced, never replaced that. It didn't have an engine filter for who knows how long. I'd bought it, like, off of somebody, so it's whatever. Honestly, I loved that car. It was a great car. I only replaced it because my parents didn't think it would make the drive back to Texas, which they were probably right, because at that time, it started having actual engine issues and it started having actual issues and startup problems and stuff. But yeah. Get a Honda. Oh, and the parts are like super freaking cheap to replace. Super cheap. Probably the cheapest oil change I've ever had. Hondas are where it's at. So you get a used Honda, doesn't matter what year it is, as long as you can afford it. I would say don't go over like $4,000 when buying a car, so just like save up $4,000. Because all you really need is an A to B, especially if you're not driving all the time. Like if you're just going from work to home. And then that's what, $300 a month, $400 a month in car payments from getting a new car that you're just saving. And then what? It's only like maybe $1,000 here and there to actively fix any problems wrong with your car. And it's not that expensive for upkeep. So you're putting away $400 a month. And just imagine that, guys. Just imagine that. I mean, look at it this way. Let's say you drive the car around for 5 months after you buy it, and now it needs an oil change. You've saved up I can't math. Why did I say 5 months? Let's go to 4 months. That's $1,600. That's $1,600. The oil change for a Honda is what, like $40? Let's round up to 50. Why not? Because easy math. That is $1,550 that you still have. Now let's say the engine fucking cuts out on you. You need to replace the pistons, or you need to replace, I don't know, your spark plugs or whatever. I don't know a lot about cars. I'm only naming the things that I know. Even if that's $1,000, you're still saving $550 of that. When, you know, you would have been losing that money and not have been able to fix problems with your car, and potentially not have been able to upkeep your car because you're spending money on just being able to keep the car. I tell you what, that's the best life advice. That's the best life advice I could ever offer anybody, is freaking just buy an A to B, right? And then upkeep it. And if you have to fix problems on it, you're gonna have the leftover money because you're saving that shit instead of spending it on the ability to just keep your car. And then you're not like me, because registration fees are like $100 freaking. But hey, you're saving $400 a month, so you have the $400 to spend once a year on registration fees. Maybe I should make this a life advice YouTube. Honestly, that's the biggest advice I could ever give. Just don't accept anything on payments. It's just better to save that money and have it for an emergency. You have no choice in some areas. Although I used to know somebody who would try to pay off like his 6-month car insurance period and homeowner's insurance period and stuff, like as quickly as he could, so that he could just spend that $1,000 right off the bat on his car insurance and then not have to pay it again for 6 months, which honestly sounds really smart, because then you're not worrying about a payment for 6 months. There's just a lot you can do with not taking payments on anything, and so much more money you can save. Unfortunately, I'm kind of stuck paying this car off for like another 5 years, because it's on a 7-year contract and my credit's awful. So, but once I pay this car off, I'm never financing another car, ever. I would rather save the money and fix any problems that occur with it and just pay for the upkeep because that's just way less expensive than spending $400 a month on a car that I don't even really like that much. I think some other life advice I can offer is that your parents are usually correct when they're giving you advice. They're not always right, because again, with the freaking car payments, I honestly should have just saved up, dealt with walking everywhere or whatever, and bought an A to B. But my dad's the one who wanted me to, well, I mean, I also wanted to get a new car at the time because I was following my dad's logic that it would be like more reliable for longer. But you know, I would say your parents are right most of the time. Just listen to them most of the time. There are times where they are wrong. Nobody's perfect. But listen to them most of the time. They're usually right. Somebody just walked up. I mean, drove up. Whatever. Anyways, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I went on a pretty big rant. Thank you guys for listening. Yeah. We're about to go into the gym and exercise before work, and then we have tomorrow off, and if we get called in, we're gonna say no because we worked 15 days straight and we're tired.